Scary, no? In choosing a school, a course, or a career path, there is so much to explore. But that's why we're here. Don't know where to start? Mag-browse ka muna sa blog namin. Baka ma-inspire ka sa mga student advice, study hacks, and adulting guides. Meron kami niyan dito. Or learn about career paths that match your skills and interests. Or chat with us. Tanong mo lang, we'll point you in the right direction. O let's say may dream school ka na. You can search for it and learn more about their programs and scholarships. At kung di ka pa decided, don't worry. Search and compare different schools to fit your needs. Pag ready ka na, submit an application. Easy. Maybe you're looking for a new hobby, certification, or degree? We've got online courses for that, and the learning doesn't stop there. Join a quest and pick something up with each visit through articles or videos. And the best part, you get to earn coins and redeem real rewards. Kaya sali na! With the right tools and information, we can find the best opportunities for you. Because the future can be scary. Pero tiwala lang. Keep exploring, keep learning with EdukasyonPH.
I'm Rafael Kisumbing.
I'm Grace.
Representing the R Users Group of the Philippines.
I'm the CEO and founder of Filter.
Very excited to share AWS UG Buildhurst Plus. I'm a volunteer and co-organizer.
Very important that you have the knowledge of what's the culture that you really want to put in place.
For us, it's really about finding really great, world-class digital and e-commerce talent. The Philippines has been a very good place to be.
Technology is actually a great equalizer. The community's inspiration is that, there's a safe space.
The fact that you joined, that's already a big step.
Having the platform of a very clear vision and values and a mission of the business and empowering people to make decisions.
This will not be the only episode that you will see. We will have a lot more. I'd also like to thank our co-presenter, AWS and AWS Lab. What is the Community Ignite series? This is bringing you short episodes that we bring in people, product, and of course purpose together. We want to uplift everyone. We want to make good developers, good professionals here in the country.
So I've been in the IT industry for 15 years now. Technology will stay for a long period of time, and then sabi nga nila, some of the jobs or roles na meron right now will be automated with technology.
I'm Michelle.
My name is Warren.
Hello everyone.
The key factor for being a generalist, not just tech, but you expand across different industries.
To show na continuous kang nag-upskill.
I learn by teaching and I also learn by doing.
Of course, an investment in knowledge really pays the best interest.
Yung soft skills is very important. We get opportunities, the way we interact.
Kung yun talaga yung passion nyo, doon talaga kayo makakapunta.
We would like to thank our co-presenter, AWS and AWS Club Pilipinas. Hello everyone, welcome again to another Community Ignite series. I'm Rafi Kisumbing, also known as Young CTO. Our special guests wearing multiple hats.
Hello everyone. So ako si Alvin. I'm a senior solutions architect. I specialize on software development and I've been using AWS since 2008. I started off defining my infrastructure using CloudFormation, but since AWS Educate came to be, ito na yung kadalasan na ginagamit ko. No? Now, as you can see, there's actually a shift from writing YAML and JSON code to define your infrastructure to using an object-oriented programming language. And at the same time, you can actually deploy your infrastructure right alongside your code. So just imagine, diba, the speed and the agility.
I'd like to thank our co-presenter, AWS and AWS Club Pilipinas. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Thursday. Now, I wanted to share some of the learnings I got from the last 3 episodes. How does one basically uplift themselves or basically get skilled in the IT field? The community has really been impactful for me. You are exposed to a larger set of problems. That's where I can bring some of the ideas and propose new POCs or proof of concepts. If you're an introvert, then my advice really is for you to be just present. I'd also like to bring into the stage community manager behind the scenes.
Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well and safe. The good thing about Community Ignite series is that everyone can learn, whether you're a student, career shifter, and a professional. This will help you then maximize yung mga tools na currently inaaral mo na mas makakatulong pa sa'yo, build your skills, build your portfolio, and para makatulong din ito to have a career in the tech industry.
And I'd like to especially thank again all our community partners from Algo Filipino, AWS User Group, DevCon, Filta, AWS User Group Builders, Ulap, and our Users Group Philippines. Now, I'd like to bring into the stage Edukasyon's own head of product, Z. Gosalves.
Scope management is all about creating or scoping work to ensure that you are going to do the required work and you're not going to do what's not required. And uncontrolled work means that this is the kind of work that you define without adjusting the time, the cost, and other resources that you use. So, pwede kang mag-scope konti as long as it will help you achieve your goal better.
The product owner has to make a decision whether or not this change has any value to the goal that they're trying to achieve.
Pero what we don't see or sometimes fail to see in evidence-based management, these are the realized value na products or deliverables.
And what are the most pressing, most pressured affinity that we would like to first address?
I'd also like to thank our co-presenter, AWS and AWS Lab.
Now for our episode today, we're gonna dive in the field of technology.
Yung study discipline nyo dapat intact siya. In this career, you would really continuously learn and relearn. So it never stops.
Game development industry is a billion-dollar industry, especially globally. Game also steps into the stage. Sila ay producer ng entertainment.
Team collaboration is maganda kasi mostly naman sa software engineering, team effort naman to. So meron kayong software engineer lead, tsaka software engineer manager nyo na mag-guide.
Data is the new gold. We are in the fourth industrial revolution. And all of those are digitized form of data, of information. So definitely we will have more opportunities.
This Community Ignite Series Episode 6 and the whole series actually is co-presented by AWS and AWS Lab Pilipinas. Welcome to the 7th episode of the Community Ignite series, BS Org Life and Tech, the road to mastering intrapersonal skills.
I am Kristen. I'm currently a junior taking up BS ITE in Ateneo, and I'm the president of our home organization, BITE. So if you don't understand what's happening right now, I'm telling you, it's all worth it. You just have to wait for it. I wanted to make a two-way bridge for tech and the people. We allow people to understand, learn, and apply tech. And at the same time, we make tech accessible to everyone.
Bago tayo nasa ganitong posisyon, marami tayong challenges na pinagdaanan and we also feel lost in a moment. In God's plan, kung saan niya tayo gustong dalhin, dun pa rin tayo pupunta.
The aha moment why I was going for a BS org was because I entered into a role, right, which has very commitment, right, high commitment, and also high growth.
It serves its purpose na you are there for a reason. People believe in you, so you're at the start. It's a long progress. Diba parang you have doubts, it's a calling then, diba?
We have a lot of kind of freedom to drive our own roadmap and determine what we want to work on. I get excited about solving hard problems that no one's ever had to solve before. My name's Nick. I'm a software engineer in the Builder Tools org. I work on internal tools that other software engineers in the company use. I work with basically every team across the entire company, both the products that we see externally, like S3, CloudFormation, DynamoDB, as well as some internal customers. We work in a space where we're trying to automate a lot of very complicated things. Often it can be kind of overwhelming to our customers. We're definitely trying to invent and simplify all the time. So we have to take a hard look about how we can keep all of that complex stuff in place because it's needed, but make it super simple for our customers to use our product at the same time. Every single time we make a mistake, it normally results in feedback from our customers that we incorporate and try and make our product better over time. We're always tasked with something really complicated, and we're not even sure if it's possible sometimes, but we go to work and we try and get everything done that we can. I think it's important to be confident in the things that you know, but then be open about the things you don't know. No one expects you to understand everything, and there's lots of hard problems that you're going to be faced with. Keep an open line of communication, and I think people will help you succeed.
Hi, everyone, and good evening. We are now live. Welcome to the 8th episode of Community Ignite series, a day in the life of a coder and what it takes to be a professional software developer. I am your host, Acha Abed, the Technical Community Manager of EdukasyonPH. Thank you for spending your Thursday evening to learn with us. So before we ignite your night, let us know that you are here, guys, by saying hi in our Zoom chat and also in our Facebook Live, where you're from, if you're a student or a professional. We're also live on Facebook again, guys, so don't forget to tag your friends there and share this live. Let's also help others learn from our very own industry leaders. Hi! Hello! Ayan, I've been seeing that there are a lot of students here with us tonight. Ayan, hello! Catherine? Hi! Hi, guys! So if this is your first time joining with us, the Community Ignite series brings people to uplift fellow developers and professionals in the Philippines with different Filipino guest speakers from all over the world sharing their expertise in the field. Whether you're a student, a professional, or a career shifter, this series is the one for you. So don't forget to join us every Thursday from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. This event is for free and it also comes with an e-certificate. Again, this comes with an e-certificate, guys, and this is co-presented by this is co-presented by Amazon Web Services and AWS Ciclab Pilipinas. Make sure that you have registered before the event, indicating your full name and correct email address to receive your e-certificate. So in case you missed the previous talks, don't worry, you can watch the highlights on our social media platforms, AWS Ciclab Pilipinas on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and we're also on TikTok. So stay tuned for that. We have a lot of content coming your way. And you can also watch the full episode of the Community Ignite series playlist on EdukasyonPH YouTube channel. And to be notified and stay up to date with our upcoming events, you can also check out the profile Community Ignite series on Eventbrite. Ayan. Hello, everyone. Good evening. We have a lot of participants here tonight. So in the last 2 episodes, episode number 6, we learned about the 4 fields in technology, particularly software engineering, web development, game development, and data analysis. Di ba? Napaka-lawak talaga. There's a lot of careers and opportunities in the field of technology. But today, we will be learning more about software development or software engineering. We're going to learn what it takes to be a professional software developer. So, huwag na natin patagalin pa. Let's start by calling our first speaker tonight. He is currently a cloud software engineer for 5G applications at Upper Digital Incorporated while serving as a part-time professor at De La Salle University. At the same time, he is also an IT consultant at David and Goliath. In the tech community, he currently leads the Philippine Android Developers Community. Ayan, sa mga PADC dyan, say hi, and Kotlin Philippines. Since 2015, he has won several hackathons locally and overseas. He has been sharing his expertise experiences and began mentoring in hackathons. His experience may help you win them and become a software developer too. Representing the Philippine Android developers community, let us give a virtual round of applause to Mac Valmores. Hi, Mac! Hello, Mac! Ayan, let's wait for Mac. Okay. Hello, hello. Hi, guys. So while waiting, let's see who's with us tonight. Meron ba tayo ditong representatives from Philippine Android developers community? Ayan. Okay, let's check. Hello. Hi, everyone. Okay, we have participants here from Partido State University campus, Cebu Technological University campus. Do we have developers here with us tonight? Ayan. Do you also guys want to become a software engineer or already a software engineer? Okay, so let's go back again. Let's check if our speaker is here. Okay, so I think, okay. Our speaker is currently having technical difficulties, so let's wait for a while. So tonight, guys, I'm interested to know while we are waiting, what are your expectations for today's talk about a day in the life? What sa tingin nyo, ano yung mga karaniwang ginagawa ng isang software engineer? Ayan. Do you think they do coding, ganyan? Ayan, let's check from the comments. Okay, so I think I can hear Mac. Hello, Mac. Medyo, okay, let's check. Hello, Mac. Okay, I think our speaker is still having technical difficulty. Okay, so later, while our speaker is fixing his audio, ayan. So let's move on to our next speaker muna. Okay, guys? So for our next speaker, she is a software engineer day by day. Ayan. Ay, hello. Ayan, Mac, are you there? Hello? I think I heard Mark. Hello. Hello, Mac? Ayan. Okay, so going back, let's move on. So again, she is a software engineer by day and a hardware enthusiast by night. Her work in the industry focuses mainly on web engineering using JavaScript and Python. She is also the Chief Technology Officer of StarTechUp, a software development agency. She also helps promote the tech scene in Cebu City by speaking at tech conferences, workshops, and meetups. When away from the keyboard, she loves to travel, discover food, or go up to the mountains to enjoy nature. Let us welcome on stage Cleo Credo. Hi, Cleo.
Hello, good evening to everyone.
Good evening.
Am I audible?
Yep, we can hear you. Ayan, and we can see you too. Ayan, nawala. Hello? Where's Cleo?
Okay. I just have my camera on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ayan. Okay, so how are you, Cleo?
Oh, good. Surviving and this pandemic. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, the stage is yours, so take it away.
Yeah, I'll share my screen. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. So let's start. So good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining this event. I'm also here to share what a typical day looks like for a software developer, at least from my point of view. And we all have different journeys throughout our career in tech, as each individual have unique circumstances. But I'm here to share mine with hopes that you will find a point of similarity and that you'll be able to relate it to your own journey. After all, we're one in being software developers in the tech industry. Okay. And also, I will be sharing briefly how to be a professional software developer, because the other speakers will also be expounding on these items on their talk. Okay, so yeah, I'm here to do the talk. You know that. Okay, so Before we can go through how a typical day for me looks like, it would be good to identify the functions that I have at work. So since this will greatly determine the activities and tasks that I will do throughout the day. So listed therein, you can see in the screen, are some of the responsibilities that I have as a CTO and as a developer. So some say that being in the upper management means less coding, but that is not the same for me. Prior to accepting the role of CTO, I made it clear that I will still be doing developer tasks as to not let go of my developer roots. So it will also allow me to sharpen up more of my skills, which will allow me to be efficient in being a technical lead. So in a nutshell, all that concerns to anything technical, it goes to me. And also I'm involved in some projects and developing features. Okay. So this is a typical day for me. So I woke up at 7 a.m. I have an hour to prepare, and 8 to 8:30 is where I clock in. I read and respond emails and also check my calendars for meetings. Then 8:30 to 9:30, I do the meetings for our clients that have the same time zone in the Philippines, and also do stand-ups with the team. So I occasionally go in and out because we have project manager, and there are times that I also need to be aware of how the project is going on for resource planning purposes. And from 9:30 to 12 noon, I code. And then I have a lunch break. And then after that, 1 to 3 p.m., I go back to coding. And from 3 to 5, I attend meetings with our clients in the in EU, in Europe, because most of our clients are from Europe. And sometimes we also do a meeting with the management, like with the CEO and the COO, together with the project manager and the operations manager. So from 5 to 5:30, I eat dinner early and I relax and I prepare for my class, because this semester I'm actually enrolled also at law school. So I only take underload subjects because I know the weight of my work in the company. So I enrolled in law school not because I wanted to get away with software engineering and be a full-time lawyer, but if you can be a lawyer and a software engineer, then why not, right? So yeah, I take those classes for 3 hours, and then after that, it ends at 8:30. Then 8:30 to 10 p.m. I eat if I'm hungry again, and then after that I relax and I watch movie, and sometimes I do social media. So for example, if I watch K-drama, I just watch one episode every day, because it's like a reward for myself for a hard day at work. I mean, like a hard work for the day. Okay. So let's try to visualize it. So I always make sure that from 10 to 7 a.m., that's like 8 hours of sleep, because I couldn't function without without proper sleep. So my personal time, which includes the personal development, learning, studying, and also social media and relaxation, that comprises also of 8 hours, as what we've seen in the table before. I counted the hours that I've spent. And also at work, I have I have 8 hours, because that's excluding the lunch break. So it comprises of 2 major categories, which included the management work, attending meetings and syncing up with the development team, and also coding. So when I code and do technical, whether that be in server administration or deploying, or so those stuff. Okay. So let's so also this pie graph, also the schedule will vary depending when we have a product launch in the coming days. So I extend my working hours, and also when I don't have internet connection, I also sometimes get lost with the schedule, and if there's also blackout. So those are things that we cannot control. So those things can also affect our schedule. Okay. So the items listed here illustrates a typical day. In other words, this shows a perfect good day for me. But, big but, this is not always the case. So it's not always about rainbows and unicorns. There will always be good days as well as bad days. So bad days could go from the reasons for bad days could go from expectations not being met, or probably you have some personal predicaments and all other reasons. So now let's try to see what a bad day looks like for me. So this is like the visualization of a good day. A bad day, okay. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. the usual. 8 a.m. to 8:30 I clock in. I read emails and check calendar. 8:30 to 9:30 meeting with clients, syncing up with the development team. 9:30 to 12 noon code, and this is where the change happens. So from 12 noon to 1 p.m. normally I also do social media at that time. I really don't sleep, but then if I feel tired, or probably if I'm feeling not really good on that day, I sleep a lot. So on lunch break, I spend 15 minutes, and then the remaining time of my hour, I just sleep. And then from 1 to 3 p.m. I code, and then from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. I attend the meetings with the clients. And then from 5 to 5:30, instead of like relaxing, ending my day, I still code again, because whenever I don't feel well in the day, it takes longer time for me to finish my task, and so that's why I extend. So 5:30 to 8:30, if I'm really if my situation gets better, I attend class, but there are times that I really don't feel like attending class, so I skip it. So, and if I skip it, it's only either I sleep again or I book a consultation with my with my therapist. And 8:30 to 10 p.m. I sleep. So during days where I don't feel good, I usually sleep. So I don't become as productive as I am during good days, and that's just it. Okay. So now let's visualize it. So from the previous graph that you've seen, this is, we can see here that we have a balance, right? There's a balance between sleep, personal time, and work time. But then when a bad day happens, as you see here, it really disrupts the balance. So we can see that sleep, I usually sleep whenever I don't feel good, and personal time is also decreased, and the time for coding has increased, because during this time I take longer time to finish my work. So it disrupts the balance again. So now you may ask, why are you showing this to us, Cleo? What's the point of showing how a bad day looks like when what we all desire is a good one? So it's because we're keeping it real. We're not just showing the glamorous side of being a coder, but we're being real here. It's to show that developers are not just task-driven, task-performing individuals, but above all, developers are human beings, and having bad days are normal. Okay? So key thing here is acknowledge the good and the bad days. And having bad days doesn't make you less of a good developer. It's just a bad day. You can always make yourself better on the tomorrow is always there to improve things. And we're all given 24 hours a day. It's up to you on how to utilize the time you have. Okay, for a while. So yeah, I think acknowledging this is one of the key factors on how to become a professional software developer. It may take us longer to complete our task on bad days, but that's normal. Learning tech is accessible. Whenever there's a new framework, technology, people can always learn something if they have time and dedication for it. There are lots of documentations out there to help, but this thing, managing your bad days, it's one of the most crucial things that we have to learn, but the hardest thing out there. So now let's quickly define how to, apart from this, the soft skills, let's quickly define how to be a professional software developer. This is my last slide. So how to be a professional software developer. So let's first define what is a profession. So it's a paid occupation, especially one that involves prolonged training and a formal qualification. So if you do coding and you get paid for it, then you're a professional software developer. And also, there are 5 things that I think are very critical in becoming one. So experience is key. So why? Because programming is a practical skill. So wait. Oh yeah, programming is a practical skill. The more experience you have with projects, the more you'll be adept in developing applications. For example, you're working on an authentication feature. So the more you work with applications, the more you'll know that you'll need log in, sign up, reset password, forget password, and you also have to set up the sessions and the tokens for it. So it follows that once you get exposed to developing lots of application, you also build your portfolio in the process. The more apps you build, the more bugs you'll encounter, and you'll be more skilled in handling them. Next is passion for knowledge and curiosity. Technology is fast-paced, and so are the tools that are used in software development. In just a matter of months, new libraries and frameworks are created, and versions of these are also updated, which usually cause some stress on the developers, like modules deprecating, libraries breaking due to incompatibility, and you have to migrate everything to the newer version again. So yeah, we have to keep ourselves always updated with the trend out there, what's new, also to make ourselves hireable, because the skill set that you have, you also have to update it depending on what's the job pool right now. So yeah, that's one. Then critical, logical, and design thinking. These three very important. Critical thinking in the sense that you can visualize vital use cases. Second is logical thinking. Formulate logic in your functions and method. What process, for example, what processes do you need to form a user login? So you need a username, password. You have to check in your database if your user and password are matched. Then you have to throw a validation error if those are not matching. And then, for example, you also have to implement CAPTCHA. So those things. So you have to sequence the processes that you have, form your logic, and design thinking. It's because how you structure your code to be performant, efficient, and elegantly created. For example, you have a delivery platform. Your third-party API doesn't give you a real-time update on the status of those deliveries. So you make your own. You make a job scheduler to check in the API the status, manually check. So use case there is, do you actually check all of the deliveries? Do you, even though the order has been delivered, do you still check it? If you check all, is it like not is it efficient? No, right? You only have to check those orders that are not yet delivered. So that's one, design thinking. You have to think of use cases. You have to think of ways to make your application efficient and for performant. Next is programming and coding ethics. So it's coding conventions and Git etiquette. So you take pride in your work and you do your work with love, and at the same time you have good coding conventions. You put relevant comments in your code base. You follow good Git processes, like you commit with meaningful Git message, commit message, then you PR, then you perform code reviews. So these kinds of things. And I guess that's my I'm already 14 minutes. I have a stopwatch here. So yeah, I think this is my last slide. Thank you very much for listening to me and for inviting me. Thank you, AWS Club organizers, for inviting me. You're the real rock stars of this event. So thank you. My name is Cleo, and let's make the world a better place, one source code at a time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cleo. Ayan, don't forget to follow her Instagram, guys, at Filipina Coder. I totally agree with Cleo. And thank you, Cleo, for keeping it really real. As an app developer myself, it's really true na the more apps you build talaga, the more challenges that you'll have to face. And along with that, then, as a developer, you really need to be patient with everything, especially with communicating then with your stakeholders, diba, and other people. So before we move on to our next speaker, Cleo, I would like to ask you just one question. What is one perk of being a software developer?
I think it always sharpens up your mind, because being a software developer, your asset there is your mental capacity. So you always learn things. So it doesn't just end in school. You keep on learning new technologies, and somehow it really makes you more observable, not just in in your career, but also in things around you. You become a more critical thinker as the day goes by. So I think that's really one of the good things about being a software developer.
Yes, that's true. And sabi din ni Daniel na yung pay, wag na daw natin i-deny. Ay, sa comments. Thank you so much, Cleo, and we'll see you later again soon. So for our next speaker, ayan. For our speaker, let's call him back again. Again, for a brief introduction, he is currently a cloud software engineer for 5G applications at Upper Digital Incorporated, while serving as a part-time professor at De La Salle University. At the same time, he is also an IT consultant at David and Goliath. In the tech community, he currently leads the PADC, also known as Philippine Android Developers Community, and Kotlin Philippines. Since 2015, he has won several hackathons locally and overseas. He has been sharing his experiences and began mentoring in hackathons. His experience may help you win in them and become a software developer too. Representing Philippine Android Developers Community, let us give a virtual round of applause to Mac Valmores. Hi, Mac!
Hi, good evening. Yun.
Ayan, naririnig ka
Grabe.
namin. Good
Kailangan lang
evening.
pala plug and plug yung ano ko.
Oo, gaya talaga.
Grabe.
So, kamusta ka naman, Mac? Where are you currently from?
I'm in Manila right now. Yan.
Yes. Ayan guys, our speakers tonight is from all over the Philippines. We have Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Okay? Thank you so much, Max. So you can
Sige.
take it away.
Thank you. So I'll share my screen, no? Ayan. Okay. Wait. Can everyone see my screen right now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, sige. So ito yung isang araw ko, no? So technically, I have two things here. Left side, a bit of myself, tech stack. Ano ba yung mga ginagawa ko? I do Java, I do Kotlin, I do PHP, Python, I do AWS, and I do Bash scripting. So among other things, marami pa yan actually. And in terms of tech stack, kung ika-categorize natin sila, I do mobile development, desktop development, web development, as well as server development. So across the board, no? And do take note, hindi pa ako full stack neto. And medyo ano yan cringe moment sa akin yan pag narinig yung full stack na developer, no? Anyway, that's for a different discussion. So ayan. So currently, ito yung mga ginagawa ko. I'm doing project management, no? Managing projects. I'm doing team lead, no? As a meaning I'm handling people, and lastly, I'm a lead developer also. So hindi lang ako developer talaga. I'm also I'm doing administrative work on top of what I'm doing. Okay. Ang hindi ko lang nilagay dito is I also teach, no? So as mentioned earlier, I had a Philippine Android Developers Community. I teach in De La Salle, and I'm a professional. I have a lot of hats, no? Now, the thing here is when you're doing something you like, you try to parang expand on it. No? So I like programming. No, kitang-kita naman sa community, sa professional ko, sa profession ko, no. So ayan. By the way, no, one thing that I like about doing community work is I highly suggest everyone to check out different Philippine Android, mga different communities sa Philippines kasi as Leo mentioned, no, you need to get experience, but it is not possible for you to get each and every possible experience out there. The only way you can learn about it is through joining the community, no? And in the community, you can actually learn yung mga experience ng tao, and you can parang, ito nangyari sa kanya, baka mangyari sa akin, no? Kasi sometimes you can relate to it. Okay? In the academe, so ayan, nagtuturo ako ng mobile development, specifically Android, no? Kotlin Android yung tinuturo ko ngayon. Moving to Kotlin Android na tayo. And sa profession ko, I guess, depende ko anong kailangan, no? Sige. So ano yung nangyayari sa isang araw ko? Kaya sera-sera, no? What happens, no? What will be. Kasi hindi ko alam. Pero since the pandemic occurred, one thing that was happened drastically is puro meetings. everyone needs to make sure uh, na aligned yung or alam yung ginagawa. Kasi ang hirap ng situation ngayon natin kasi people are working from their own homes, no? And meeting deadlines is a bit difficult. Kasi sometimes pag nasa work ka kasi, pag nasa office ka, focus ka sa work. Ngayon hindi na eh. Parang basta ang deadline Friday, you'll manage your work until Friday. That is if you are an output-based person. Okay? So yung 8 to 5 na oras na wala actually when the pandemic occurred, no? And because of these meetings, these alignments na ito dapat nangyayari sa system natin, ito yung ginagawa ng system natin. Those meetings, no? There's not enough time to code. Nauubos, no? So for me, the day starts at 9 a.m. Or ano yan, consistent yan, 9 a.m. work na yan. However, the day ends whenever I feel it. Hindi na siya yung tipong 8 to 5, as I said earlier. Ang laking difference ng pandemic, no? Now, with that happening, there actually is a pro in that. Meaning, kung output, no, hindi kasi tayo dapat, one thing that I want to share is, ever since I've worked, hindi ako yung tipong 8 to 5 dapat nag-work ka. No? It has to be output based. That's why it helps to, if you've heard Kanban, agile methodologies, those things will help you manage your output. No? So sa akin, importante yon. Pag sinabing Friday, ito yung timeline natin, dapat ito. Pero I'll be honest with you guys. No? I kinda slip a lot of times. Parang 1 day, 2 days extension. No? Kasi nga, I have a lot of hats. So going back, so since puro meeting nga, yung oras ko, yung pagko-code ko, nauubos. Kasi honestly, yung meeting ang laking kinakain ng oras plus nakaka-drain siya, no? And if you're doing multiple projects, in my case, I'm doing project management on top of other things, you won't be able to code properly. And kaya ang nangyayari, I code after dinner. Kumbaga, sure ako wala nang tatawag, wala nang magtatanong, wala nang hihingi ng clarifications, no, wala nang meetings. Doon ako magko-code. Now, when I code, sometimes yung mga tasks could take around 1 hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes, depende. But the thing is, ito yung challenge sa work from home. Maglalaro muna ako ng LOL. Manunood muna ako ng anime. Manunood muna ako ng movie. No? So those things happen. Pero at the end of the day, I'm still able to deliver. No? Yun yung pinaka-importante. Ang challenge lang for me at this point, in my case, this is personal, is that maabot ako minsan 4 a.m., 3 a.m., even 2 to 3 days without sleep. Kasi nga, kumbaga, you're doing a lot of things. No? So, don't do that. Ngayon pala sinasabi ko, don't do that. Kasi it might happen to you, especially if you are in a company that's, what you call this, maraming deliverables, laging on the run. So, no? So, ayun. So, yan yung yung araw ko. Now, the key here is time management. As I said, the agile methodology or having scrums or Kanban or having specific times and deadlines will actually help you. Kasi as a developer, some tasks are actually doable in 30 minutes. Pero bibigyan ng company yan ng 3 days, no? Those things are the perks of being a developer. Kasi in our case, sometimes kasi na underestimate ng ibang tao yung skills natin or minsan na overestimate naman. Possible 'yon. Kaya usually having or doing Scrum or having Kanban or having deadlines, you can specify ito yung given time span. So there are a lot of, in my case, no, there are a lot of times that I don't know the tech. Kasi in my case, hindi ako yung typical developer na okay, let's build a website, let's do this. Unfortunately, that's not yung niche ko ngayon. I'm doing R&D for a lot of things. To be specific, I'm doing R&D for Globe, yung 5G na Globe 5G network. No? Ano yung mga pwedeng implement sa 5G to showcase 5G? So those things will actually, although the team does a lot of things, pero I need to read up on it. No, I need to understand what's happening, and eventually I need to actually do hands-on. Okay, so doon pumapasok yung time management, no? Yung having goals, time sets. Kasi that way, even if your day doesn't parang work parang like an 8 to 5 hour, you will still be able to meet the expectations. Yun naman talaga dapat eh. Basta as long as you meet the expectations, all good tayo dapat. Okay? And on top of this, one thing that I have to do every day is I need to learn. Kasi I teach, no? In 2019 alone, I did around 30 workshops around the country. That was sponsored by Google. I was teaching Kotlin, no? Kotlin and Android at the same time. So, ayun. And because of those things na I teach, and because I love what I do, I continually learn. So, in a week, hindi naman kailangan isang araw. In a week, I need to learn something. Kahit na one line of code lang, one line of optimization, hindi kailangan maging drastic. Something new, no? New perspective. It helps a lot, no? Kasi you cannot, one thing that is here sa industry natin is that everything is changing and sometimes it's fast, no? And for me, quickly adapting is not practical. So I always choose ano yung i-adapt ko. Okay? So in my case, since I am also a professor on top of being a developer, I need to understand ano yung mga nangyayari sa industry. Yun yung nangyayari sa work ko. Ano yung mga nangyayari sa mga technologies, yung evolution nila. That way, I can actually teach those ng mga yung mga nasi-share ko yon sa mga students ko. So, ayun. So that's it for me. So again, for me, it's not unlike Cleo. Cleo was a bit more structured. Mine is parang whatever happens on the day happens. But the thing is, as long as I meet the deadline, okay tayo. And next, I need to learn something new. Those are the two things that needs to happen within a week at least para yung masasabi ko na, okay, this went well. My week went well. Okay? So, as a developer, one thing that you need to understand is hindi tayo pare-pareho na magiging path. Some of you will be mobile development, web development. And one thing is, in my case, some people call me generalist kasi I step over a lot of technology. Some of you will be specialists. Some of you will be doing R&D. R&D is more like research development, no? So depende kasi yan sa magiging path ninyo kung ano yung mangyayari sa isang araw nyo. One thing, kaya in my case, no, the only best thing that I will tell you is to reiterate, practice time management, always identify the goals and set timelines para to attain them. And lastly, always learn. Kasi that way, you will be able to keep up with what's happening. And that's all for me. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Mac. And yes, it's definitely true from our previous speakers talaga naman na there are many ways for time management and discovering the different kinds of time management practices. Doon natin malalaman what fits best for us, di ba guys? And yes, naniniwala din ako sa kasabihan na the best thing about learning is that nobody can take it away from you. And alam niyo na guys, if you are an aspiring or currently a developer, ang advice ng ating speakers ay always continuous learning. Ayan, I teach, therefore I learn, sabi ni Mac. Ayan, thank you so much, Mac. And moving on to our next speaker. But before we move on, for our questions, we will check them out later. Don't forget to put it in the chat. And now for our last and third speaker, He is currently a technical lead for front end at Detail Online Technology Incorporated. He started as an Android developer at Samatosa Software Developers and started web development after 1.5 years. Sometimes, when the code does not obey him, he'll strap his guitar, turn on the amps, and rock away. After that, the code works for some reason. Joining with us live, representing DevCon Davao, let us give a virtual round of applause for Daniel Padilla. Hi, Daniel.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good
Is my audio
evening.
okay?
Yes, how are you feeling tonight? Ayan.
Hi, Acha. So thank you for inviting. No? In behalf of DevCon Davao, so thank you very much. So good evening, guys. So my topic today is a bit different. It's more of a ano ba yan? Paano maging pogi na programmer? Okay. So anyway, just to have an interactive more webinar. Okay lang ba na when I say I, you react like a heart. When I say all right, your reaction will be joy. When I say awesome, your reaction will be tada. You can press that on your Zoom. And when I say thanks, of course, there's a clap. It's just a way to get interactive. So good evening. So I'm Daniel Padilla. So what do I do for a living? So I have some office mates here joining the webinar also. So here are my growing team in detail. So as you can see, I'm on that shades, actually holding a guitar there while we're having a meeting. So now one of our devs there is actually a streamer. Some of them, yeah, they do online games, yeah, but still enjoy coding at the same time, right? So I have the team lead there. So we're still growing and we're still recruiting more. Yep. So we are proud to say that.
Daniel, I think we cannot see your presentation.
Sorry.
Ayun. Let's try
Okay,
again.
that's why. Yan. Okay lang mag-restart.
Okay.
Ayan. Sorry
Ayan,
about that.
nakita na namin. Ayan, pogi na
Okay.
programmer. Okay.
Okay, my topic's a bit off, but yeah, it's still related to on how to become a software developer, a professional. So I just named it Pogi na programmer because I'll derive my discussion up there from the Pogi itself. Okay. So just to be interactive, I said a while ago, if I say I, just say heart on the, call this Zoom. All right, reactions joy, awesome, tada, and thanks, of course, the clap. So just to feel us to be interactive in this webinar. Okay, so I'll introduce myself. I'm Daniel Padilla. So sorry for the name, it's a curse and a blessing. So what do I do for a living? So I'm a technical lead and this is my team. And I'm the one there with the shades smiley. Of course, I'm rocking away the meeting. I'm still holding a guitar and some of my teams are there. So yeah, some of my office mates are here at the webinar. Okay, things I love to do just to get a feeling of knowing me. Okay, so I love to do coding despite of my work. I still love to do coding. I sing. I am in a choir previously. I compose songs. I rap my guitar. I do so also drones. I pilot drones sometimes. Netflix and chill, drive, and my favorite is to be in Zen mode, washing the dishes. Okay, and also cook fried rice every morning. And the most things that I love to the thing that I love to do is actually love my wife. So that's her. Okay. So how to be a professional programmer. So there are many ways to get there. Okay. So I'm just imparting my experience on how to become a professional programmer. So this will be based on my experience. Okay. So in order for you to be a professional programmer, so for example, if you are given a coding requirement, create a function that will greet you hello and your name. So example, hello Daniel. So it's now your turn to code. And how do you arrive from code from this to code to this? Okay. How do you achieve that kind of skill? So later on, I'll define this somehow an overview how to achieve that one. Okay. So as you can see, code from this is a bit, yeah, it's eye irritating. It's just a simple function, but it tells a lot that it's coded by a junior or a first-time programmer. But when you look at the code at the right, it's somehow done by a more professional programmer, because it's a dynamic function. You can just input Peter, hello Peter, or if you don't put a name, hello anonymous. So that's how how a professional programmer thinks. It's a simple way to differentiate on how programmers think. Okay. To become a professional programmer, you have to be a Pogi na programmer. So that's my title on the for this webinar. So how to be a Pogi na programmer? Can anyone guess? But yeah, should this be this guy? I doubt. Yeah, he's famous, right? So unfortunately, we're the same bloodline, and unfortunately, I just get the bloodline. Okay, so here's Pogi as I define it myself. This is based on my experience as a programmer, a developer, and as a tech lead. First of all, passion. Second one is organization. G for growth, and I for ingenuity. So let's go ahead to passion. Okay, so this is from Merriam-Webster. So it's a strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement for something, about doing something. So it's like it's within you. It's like it's always burning to learn the technology. Without passion, I think it's hard to keep up the pace with the technology. It's always changing. It's always improving, and even the best technology you knew is already dead in a few years. And that's true in the IT world. And passion is something that would really keep you up. So like Mac and Cleo mentioned, they can code until dawn if there's isn't a burning passion to finish a job, right? It's something that you really need to know to yourself. Is this the way to go? Besides of the benefits of being a developer or a programmer. So it's something that you have to check on yourself. Am I passionate in coding? Because if you're afraid of codes, then I guess you have to think twice. But again, this is based on my experience. But there are people who are really trying their best because they are fascinated the way code works. It's like magic. It feels like they are like wizards when they run the code, right? So yeah, the second one is organization. So organization is that it keeps your way of thinking. For example, on how you solve things, you have to be organized in solving the problem. For example, how do you reverse a word and tells that it is a palindrome? So palindrome is like when you reverse it, it's still the same word. Okay, like what's the word example? Yeah, so it's just reversing the word is still the same. Okay. So organization tells you how to, especially as a developer, you have to organize your code that it's easy to manage. So at first, it's kind of hard because you don't know where to place it, especially when there's an existing project. But as a developer, you need to organize especially when you're starting a project, you need to organize each code, where is it placed, so that it's easy to trace, easy to read also for your team. So it's a broad term, but it applies really a lot on your as a developer. So also when you're organized, you have to think about solving it by step, or you can solve it in a global manner, right? So the next one is growth. So this attribute tells you if you really want to be a programmer, because it's something that you need to check on yourself. Am I growing as a software developer, or I'm dead stuck here because you don't see yourself upgrading? It's still the same things that you're doing, and it's not it technically it doesn't make you happy. So growth is important when you look into a job. That's because that's where your roadmap is. If you don't see yourself after 10 years on that company, try to rethink. Okay, so how do you detect that you're growing? So here are some key points that you think you're growing already as a developer or programmer. Your code reading skills are way better when you try to write the code. Now, when you code read other codes, it's easy for you to read the context. Okay, the bug on line 9, there's a missing space or semicolon there. So that tells you that you're growing as a coder. Okay, the second is data structures. If data structures comes in various forms, okay? So it depends on which you are familiar to. So if you're if you know JSON, I don't know if some here know the word JSON, XML, YAML, or HTML. Even HTML itself is a form of like a data structure. It's just a container. So if you don't know how to manipulate this kind of data structures, it is something for you to improve on. Data structure cannot be avoided. It's always there on back end and front end. For front end, for me, I can build a wonderful UI just based on the data structure. So you can check on yourself if you're improving in your data structures, if you're implementing the UI much faster and quicker. Okay, so technical designs, it's more of a documentation. If you don't know how to do this, it's something that you need to acquire for you to grow. A lot of companies there will really throw you into the technical designs. Submit me a technical design, submit me a schema diagram of your database, submit me a proposal in that document. You cannot avoid those, especially if the company really practice this kind of documentations. Architecture, this is something that you look forward to, because how do you get architecture? Yes, it's through experience. For me, it's through experience from being an Android developer and thrown to web the first time. It was really a struggle, but when I look into the platform, the infrastructure of how it's built, the app itself, I learned how things work, especially in web development. How does a server work? How does the client side work? How does it serve the HTML, CSS, JavaScript? And how does it work hand in hand? How does this client browser talks to server? Those kind of experience. If you know those things, good for you now. But those are really part of your architecture skills, because you're trying to solve things. So another way to check if you're already has some architecture skills, you can reverse engineer. I remember before when we were looking at an Android app, I can already reverse engineer. Okay, they're using a list view, they're using a fragment. Okay, they're using a button like this. Okay, a list custom list view. So within yourself, you can assess that, okay, I'm improving in my reverse engineering skills. That's how I imagine myself before, that I'm okay. I'm continue to improve, and as you move along, there will be high level like planning. Now this kind of growth is quite different because it's more of a higher tier on your career. So this happens also on project managers. So I think Mac can relate with that. There's a lot of planning, meetings, and everywhere. So that's why it's something that you need to look forward to. So don't be afraid. It's a step up on your career. Okay, and a lot more. This is still partial, right? So I have few minutes left. So I guess that's growth. Once you detect these things that you're acquiring these things, you're growing. Okay, here comes the most call this the term itself, ingenuity. So actually there's a company here in Davao named Ingenuity. So it's a cleverness in device or invention. No, it's the way you think. Okay, so for me, when I have this ingenuity, there are a lot of ways. So it could be personal. You have to be in Zen mode, meaning you have to be in the zone, so you could think really well on your solving the problems. So as the meme says, I don't think outside of the box. I think what I can do with the box, right? So it involves a lot of patience also. That's why it's really hard when you are given a task by a product manager, do this feature, and you haven't tried that yet. So the best way is really to surround yourself with more experienced people. I think that's an genuine way to expose yourself with professional coders also. So if you call up, you promote you're going to improve your skills there. Collaboration is very important in the workplace. Okay. So just to have some like a preview of how who are the people in your software development ecosystem. So these are just the basic. These are not everyone, but so we have the back end. So they say it's okay, but yeah, Cleo shared before that, yeah, she had some crazy times also, right? Okay, we have the front end. So this is a funny thing because this is just an exaggeration. It just tells you that front end is always the main attack. It's mainly attack mostly of bugs. That's why it's stress. Here showing it's 30 years old man, but yeah, he looks like 60. So front end is mainly the first defense. So usually in our front end we have a lot of bugs to deal with. We investigate first, is this our fault or backend's fault? So it happens all the time. But yeah, this is just an exaggeration just to make fun. Okay. Here's a very controversial one. Dev skip QA. So QAs are really important in software development. Don't skip them. They will make a hell lot out of you. It's a scary scenario when you mess up with the QA. And also the project managers. So what's good about project managers? Actually, it's not rewarding, but it's fulfilling. Once you know your project is released and it's on production, and you give a team a celebration, just to celebrate things you did well on your project. So I guess doing project manager's work is not really fun. Gantt chart, for these meetings, it's boring. But when you see the output, it's fulfilling as a project manager, especially when your project is already on production and everyone says it's really good, it's working, and there's a bug. Okay, back to the board. Okay. Who wants games? Okay.
Yan, kami, syempre, Daniel Games. May prize ba yan?
Oh, may prize. May
Ayan,
prize.
go! Ayan,
So,
guys, let's go daw, sabi ni Roel.
Okay. 2 games na to. Okay? Okay. Bring me a selfie of yourself while attending this webinar.
Ay, ayan, guys, selfie.
Email your picture and GCash number to daniel@padilla@gmail.com.
Ayan. Ayan, guys. Okay, chat nyo if nagawa nyo siya. Ayan, para malaman natin kung sino.
Yeah, I will see it on my Gmail, no?
Okay.
Did it first.
Ayan. Sabi ni Steven, all right. Ayan. Let us know din, guys, if nakapag-send na kayo.
Saglit lang ha.
Okay.
Tingnan ko sa mail.
Okay, while waiting for our participants kasama sa game. Ayan, let us know if you're still here, guys, by saying hi and ano yung mga natutunan nyo from our industry leaders. Ayan, for our questions, guys, don't worry, to those who have sent their questions, we will be sending them to our speakers and we will also inform you of their answers. So don't forget to check our social media accounts at AWS Club Pilipinas. Hello! Ayan. Sabi ni John Paul Garcia, ano po ulit yung Gmail, Daniel? Ayan.
Yeah, I'm showing it again. Sorry.
Okay. Ayan. So, Daniel, question daw from our Facebook Live viewers. Kasali din daw ba sila? Pwede din daw ba sila? Sayang wala po.
Yeah, sure. Pwede.
Yan.
Paunahan lang.
Paunahan daw. Jeno, says Jeno. Pwede kang sumali.
Oy,
ayan.
Meron na.
Ay, meron na. Sino ang ating lucky winner? Sent na daw. Ayan, sent sir, sabi ni Lexi Sanchez.
Grabe ang anak ng Flash. Kasama ko yan sa work. She always plays this kind of game. Yeah, she won. I can give, yeah. She won the game.
Lexi won. Ayan, sabi ni Kem Truberio na...
okay, disqualified. Walang GCash number, sorry.
Oh, disqualified daw. Wala daw GCash number, guys. So don't forget to put your GCash number. Next, winner.
Okay, we have Ronald Glass. Congratulations to Ronald Glass.
Ayan, congratulations, Ronald. Ayan.
Sorry, Lexi, you forgot your GCash number. Yeah, so don't worry, guys. We still have another game. It's still the same, but it's more effort, right?
Okay.
Hopefully, somebody did already this, but yeah. This is a bit, yeah.
Okay. Sige, how many games do we have, Daniel? Left?
Just 2. We have only 2.
Okay. So this will be the last one?
Yeah, this will be the
Ayan,
last.
guys, last one na yan. So galingan nyo ating mga participants from Zoom and Facebook. Ayan. Sabi ni Jeno, no chance of winning na sir, may nauna na. Ayan, meron pa daw, Jeno, sa ating Facebook Live viewers. Ayan. Ready nyo na, guys. Same, ano din ba, Daniel? Same instructions? Email?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got...
Ayan, sabi ni Jeno, ayos to, nag-attend ka lang, may pera ka na. Yes. For free pa tong event na to with e-certificate. Ayan, kaya tag nyo yung friends nyo, guys, to join our Community Ignite series every Thursday from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. Okay, ayan. Selfie pa rin ba?
I know, yung paper plane with the AWS Club.PH na hashtag.
Paper plane. So magdo-drawing.
It's actually, you build a paper plane. So, pwede. So, it's a bit of, yeah, physical work. So, yeah.
Ayan, guys. Gagawa na kayo ng paper plane. Go, go, go. Nakalagay AWS Club Pilipinas. Ayan, paunahan. Pwede ba sumali? Pero ayan, guys, sa ating mga, ang dami nating viewers tonight. We have 86 from Zoom and 48 going to 50 dito sa ating Facebook Live. Ayan. Ayan, sabi ni Carter James, kakapasok lang, di ko alam criteria. Carter, gumawa ka daw ng paper plane, tapos lagyan mo ng AWS Club Pilipinas, tapos send mo sa Gmail ni Daniel. Ayan, chat din natin, Daniel, ano ulit yung Gmail mo para malaman din nila?
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Hindi makita sa screen? Or...
Hindi nakikita.
Bakit?
Ayan, sabi ni Brian Nahed M. Duhay Lungsod, Sir Daniel Padilla, why so guwapo? Proud of you, bro. Ayan. Ayan. Okay. So,
Thanks,
email or
bro.
picture. Ayan. And GCash number, guys. Don't forget GCash number to danielfpadilla@gmail.com. Ayan. Paper plane na may hashtag AWS PH. Kailangan kompleto. Ayan. Paano daw gumawa ng paper plane? Ayan. Google mo
Ayun,
na.
gali tayo doon. Hindi.
Okay, so meron tayong while waiting, meron tayong question na sent for you,
Yeah.
Daniel. So sabi dito, from Dio, do you need a degree to become a front-end developer?
Actually, it's a controversial question.
Yeah.
But I suggest you still continue to finish your degree because programming basics are really important, especially in academia. Magagalit si Mac sa akin pag pwede ka mag
Yeah, he's a
diba?
professor.
So he's from academia. So it's very important you know the basics. It's the fundamentals of programming. So ang hirap rin pag dive ka diretso. Pwede naman, but it really takes more effort eh. May iba kasi yung may guide through the academe, teach you the basics. Then yeah, it's quite night and day from academe to but it's slowly changing over time. So the academe is actually coping up. So especially Sir Mac, nagtuturo na siya under development. So that's good. Kasi noon before it's just Java and object-oriented programming. That's it.
Yeah, I totally agree din with Daniel din na kasi I am currently a fourth year computer science student and I'm also developing apps. So I really dun ko nakita yung value talaga na iba pa din kapag nakapagtapos ka kasi you have a background knowledge ng programming, yung mga na-mention nyo speakers, di ba, yung mga data structures and yung mga agile kasi pag if you don't learn from these, mahihirapan ka and very crucial, di ba, as a software developer yung time management, diba? Very challenging. Aside from that, then you also need to learn soft skills. So kailangan, guys, very advisable din talaga to finish.
So may winner.
Ay, may winner na. Ayan, sino?
So congratulations to Dan Gabriel Asareno.
Ayan, congratulations, Dan. Ayan, meron kang GCash prize.
So double purpose to.
Prize?
May cash ka na, may galing pa kay Daniel Padilla, di ba?
Oo, pwede nyo i-ano yan. Sabihin nyo, thank you, Daniel Padilla. Yan, i-ano nyo. Okay, thank you so much.
Ilang time ba ako, Miss Acha? How many minutes? Or I'm out of time na?
I guess we can wrap up na din for our games. Or do you have one more pa ba?
I just want to share a story. Just to give inspiration lang. Kwento muna. So there was an applicant applying for a job. So this would be based on my as a software developer. So he was trying to solve a programming exam, but he failed because ang gamit kasi is pen and paper. So parang yung developer, ang hirap naman to. So freshly grad, so nahirapan siya. So basically he failed the exams, yung developer. So what the developer did is he proposed to the boss. Parang, boss, sad to say na fail ako, pero pwede ba magtrabaho free? I just want to learn to develop software. So pumayag naman yung boss, and syempre yung developer, outburst ng emotion, parang, yeah, parang OJT na ako bukas, parang, yeah, yun yung expression ng program, yung developer. So day by day, he learned from the mentors within that company. He's acquiring knowledge and skills beyond his imagination. Yung first week niya, may pinagawang app, nagawa niya. The second week, he managed to build another app. So, and according to the boss, yun daw yung the best app na nagawa ng isang entry-level dev sa kanila. Because they have this parang, if pasok ka after sa exam, pasok ka, you can build up parang app lang for yourself, just to show your plan. So, ang sabi ng boss, you made the best app ever sa kanilang company. So, and that story was actually me. And this is where I am now. So hopefully everyone gets inspired with my story. So it's don't be afraid to fail. As long as you have this passion, organization, and you seek for growth and your ingenuity, and you will become a Pogi programmer.
Ayan, grabe,
Thank you for listening.
Daniel. Napa-goosebumps ako dun sa story mo. Ayan. Okay, thank you so much also for sharing your experiences and how to be a Pogi programmer. Ayan. Thank you so much. Software development, guys, is really an interesting field. So, kamusta naman kayo? Chat nyo din if you have learned a lot. And again, we would not only thank our speakers tonight, but our co-presenters as well. Thank you so much for Amazon Web Services and AWS Ciclab Pilipinas. Again, we would like to remind everyone for the e-certificates, after you answered our CSAT form, it will be put in our screen here and also in the chat box as well. Ayan. Okay, so we appreciate your feedback, and if you would like to suggest more topics for this upcoming episode, just go to go.edukasyonph/CIS8 feedback. Again, that's go.edukasyonph/CIS8 feedback. Ayan, thank you so much, and for our speakers from different parts of the Philippines. Yes, and I have definitely learned a lot from our 1 hour tech-driven webinar. Ayan, napapaano ako kasi grabe talaga yung natutunan ko from the experiences. Hindi din, very challenging din ang field of software development. And we hope you guys enjoy it. Ayan, meron pa tayong pag-games tonight from our speaker. Thank you so much, Cleo, Mac, and Daniel. And I want to take this opportunity then to invite you guys for a photo op with our speakers. So you may turn on your cameras. Ayan, photo op tayo with our speakers. Okay, picture tayo, guys. Ayan, para makita naman kayo ng ating mga speakers.
Yeah, first screen.
Ayan, hi. Ayan, tignan natin. Hello. Ayan, hi Rafi. Ayan, nandito si Rafi with us. Hello, Janelle, Lyra, Regine, Serena, Kim. Ayan, si Kim lagi yan nanonood ng ating Community Ignite series. Ayan, thank you so much for being with us here today. Ayan, we have Kennedy, Joshua. Ayan, hi Rose, one of our senior technical community manager. Krister, ayan. So get ready na guys for our photo op. So let us know, Rose, if ready na to take a picture. Okay, ready na guys. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, one more. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, ilang pages ba to? 4. Okay, pangatlo. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Smile lang kayo guys. Okay, for our last. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Ayan, thank you so much guys. Okay. So, ayan na. Unfortunately, dito na nagtatapos ang ating Community Ignite Series Episode 8, A Day in the Life of a Coder, What It Takes to be a Professional Software Developer. On behalf of EdukasyonPH and AWS Ciclab Pilipinas, we would like to thank you for coming, and your feedback again is very much appreciated. For you to also receive your e-certificate as well. So ayan, for the upcoming episodes, stay tuned. So surprise ang ating magiging topic. So make sure you follow our social media accounts on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok to stay updated. Thank you everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye everyone.
Welcome to AWS Educate's Cloud Career Pathway. AWS Educate helps you create a pathway into innovative and lucrative opportunities in the rapidly expanding cloud industry. On AWS Educate, you will discover the skills necessary to advance into cloud careers, explore content, test your knowledge, seek micro-credentials as badges and certificates of completion, and even have the opportunity to apply for jobs and internships in the cloud. Start off by building your profile, adding your resume, classes, degrees attained, and other facets of your experience. Then, select a cloud career field. From there, we'll personalize your plan by providing content that matches your pathway. As you consume that content, we'll prompt you to take knowledge checks of 3 to 5 questions in order to gauge your comprehension. After you've completed 50% of the knowledge checks, you'll have a chance to earn an AWS Educate badge. Then, uplevel your profile by completing a project and a final assessment, and you can receive an AWS Educate certificate of completion. Take applicable courses at your school or online to grow your knowledge and fill gaps in your skill set. All of these achievements can be added into your portfolio. Then put it all together. Apply for a job or internship at Amazon or at one of our customers or partners through the AWS Educate job board. Download your portfolio and send it to your potential employer to get your ideal job in the cloud. So what are you waiting for? Start your career pathway today.